My name is Ann Kasina. I'm a grassroots feminist organizer with the social movement, which is a grassroots movement by the people, for the people. And it's just basically to organize the people to be able to organize for political power and also to be accountable to the question of social and economic. So basically why I'm here today, I'm here to participate in the core uchumi conversation, because with the current punitive taxation, with the finance bill 2023, we feel it's putting us into more shackles of injustice and of inequality, because as I said, I'm coming from a grassroots level where most of the people are not privileged, and we lack things like basic commodities. And when we see right now they have hiked price, it shows you how many people cannot be able to attain basic commodities. So it continues to create the inequality gap. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a dialogue that we are having today, and it's about the economic or dialogue. Yeah. What are some of those issues that you feel like should be addressed in this particular dialogue?
One of the things is to have serious, genuine the national debt that we have, and we're having a debt that most people in Kenya do not understand what's really happening, because there is not always public participation, people getting involved to discuss these issues of this is the debt that we're having and this is much that we have to pay. Even the finance bill was pushed to our throats without the public participation, and even our MPs at the ground understand that people themselves don't need the finance bill, because we are already facing an economic crisis, and understand that we've come from COVID-19, gone direct to election again, and now after election what we see, whoever party that won was to address the issues of the people. And so we feel now the government is not addressing our immediate issues, where we say that high cost of living is really killing us, and unemployment, knowing that majority of this country are young people and are not employed, most of them are facing the crisis of unemployment, then it shows you how we are unable to meet basic needs. And basic needs, it's one of the things that is very fundamental right as a human being. So you being stripped out of that dignity is already a violation happened to you, is a crime against humanity. So one of the conversations is to see how it is to pay the debt, how do then we strategize in paying the debt and ensuring that we include the voice of the people. And another thing with the crisis of the debt in this country is that when the government borrows these loans or borrows this money, is not that the money is not used to improve our conditions. The money is not used to improve. It's not used for development. We see the money goes to the pockets of the people. I remember the previous government, the president said that we are losing 2 billion every day. So how do we lose 2 billion every day going to pockets of the people, individual, and they are not held accountable? We have institutions that have to hold these people accountable, and these institutions use money that the money comes from the taxpayers, but is not accountable to the people. So people feel like the government is not there for the people, and we feel much frustrated. And this is the time we say we, the people, have the power. And according to our constitutional right, according to Chapter 1 of the Constitution that gives us sovereign power, is us, the people, collectively to speak and say, we want the government to work for the people, and because we understand that it's our fundamental right for the government to do that. Yes.
Yeah. So as we wrap up, we saw that the president said that he's trying to privatize some of the institutions that we have in order to solve some of the tax issues that we have, and to be able to pay some of the public debt. Referencing that 7 shillings out of 10 shillings is used to pay debt. Do you think privatization of institutions is something that is going to work in paying taxation?
I don't think so.
Debt,
It can. That actually, it shows you how the country is continuing to collapse economically. And one of the things that has made this country to be in shackles of this crisis is because of the privatization of so many things that are very intimate to human beings, like what I've kept on saying, the basic need question. You know, the privatization of like water, and so now we are speaking of privatization of corporates. Then it shows you we need to really strategize and as the people of how now we can salvage this country, because it's not realistic of what we're speaking, and it's not realistic according to our conditions at hand. Yeah.
What are some of those suggestions that maybe you may have from the community that you feel like people they should be put on the table?
One of the things, as the people of this country, as Kenyans, one of the things is to understand that it's our fundamental right to hold the government accountable, which we are not doing. We are not collectively speaking in one voice. And this is the time for us to come together and speak collectively and tell the government that it's in power to work for us and not to subject us into the violence that we are seeing it do. So that is one of the things that we need briefly, strongly come out together as Kenyans. And the other thing is Kenyans to organize for political power that is by the people, for the people, and not the way we've seen Kenya now has individual political driven conversations or individual driven power, So we don't want to go to the world, to the back of dictatorship. We want collectively with the people to feel part of the government, with the people to feel that our government works for us. But that is not the realistic at the ground. It's not what we're seeing at the ground. So we would want the people to be able to hold the government accountable, because we have the 2010 constitution, the 2010 constitution that was propagated, and it works for us. We've not seen the government implement that. Like the question of Article 43, right to basic needs, like right to healthcare. See the crisis, and why I'm so pertinent and passionate to speak about the question of basic need is because the government itself has failed to do even such basic things that we need. Human being has to have it. Healthcare has collapsed. Right now, people, when someone is sick, you are whole. You're in fear because you don't know what next it might cost, So we just need to be able to hold the government accountable, and not government pushing policies on our throats while people resist and say, no, we can't move with this. So the government need to listen to the people. And the other thing is the issue of food security. We don't want to discuss the issue of food security rather than discussing the issue of food sovereignty. So when the government keeps on saying that we ban GMO or uplift GMO, so that we are able to have good flow of food chain in this country, it's not workable it's not realistic, because we know what GMOs exposes us to, what risk. So how do we ensure that we have policies that give people the access to coordinate together, collaborate together, trade together? By having that is where now, like the other day we have in the policy on the bill that farmers cannot have organic preserving of seedlings and all that. So we feel the government is so much sabotaging the people, So how do you ensure that people have the right to have practice indigenous culture and prevent our cultures that continue to create an alternative, better society for all humans?
Yeah. So finally, what is your call for action today?
Yeah, my call for action is to tell the government to reject the Finance Bill 2023, because it continues to put us into high punitive taxation, and we're already facing economic crisis. So we are saying we abolish the Finance Bill 2023.
Thank you so much for talking to us.
Asante.